First, I want to ask you about the World Cup because, of course, extraordinary scenes in Iran that you posted about, Iranians celebrating in Iran.
Can you believe that?
Because they were defeated by the United States. Okay, explain this to me, please.
I know it's very embarrassing for the Islamic Republic, but it's beautiful, actually. For years and years, the Islamic Republic actually brainwashed us to say death to America. I mean, I myself, I grew up in a tiny village. I was told that I have to shout death to America as loud as the White House could hear us. Now you hear that people in the street were holding the flag of America, celebrating the US victory because it means that the Islamic Republic is kicked out from World Cup. And it means that the Islamic Republic doesn't have a global platform anymore to normalize its murderous regime. The World Cup, I mean, it was a platform for Iranians if the football players, like showing solidarity with Iranian people. Before coming to World Cup, all of them, they went to the mass murderer Ibrahim Raisi, they bowed to him, they shook his hand. So believe me, the football team doesn't represent Iranians. It does represent the gender apartheid regime.
Now, the Iranians, the young Iranian men on this team did seem very sympathetic. I saw that they were, the first time around, they were not singing the national anthem, then they're threatened, then they sing it in a wooden way. Some of them were crying afterwards. The American players were supporting them, in some cases even embracing them. Did any of that come through in Iran at all? I mean, did the Iranian people see any of that?
Look, I'm a woman. You're talking to a woman who's been kicked out from stadiums to watch football for 40 years. And you want me to have sympathy with these male football players who never stood up for women in Iran? I mean, imagine it was not women of Iran. It was women here in America being kicked out from stadiums. Would you really celebrate your national team? This is not a national team. So that is why Iranians were really happy in the street. You know, in the city of Saqqez, the hometown of Mahsa Amini, who got killed by hijab police, that was the first city that people took to the streets and chanting that America, we are behind you.
I am deeply empathetic with your message and with what you've come from, where you've been through. But when I see an Iranian team that doesn't sing the national anthem and is supposedly threatened, and their families are threatened to force them to, it does, I mean, certainly in authoritarian regimes in the past, we've seen many occasions where these people themselves are in danger, right? I mean, citizens are in danger from what they're doing. So I'm just wondering, were they under that pressure?
Of course, but look, compare the pressure that teenagers are facing. The first round, when they were playing with Wales, people were getting killed in the cities of Kurdistan. People were like facing guns and bullets, but they were happy, they were celebrating. So, and don't forget, not singing national anthem, which is actually is not national anthem, it's the anthem of the Islamic Republic.
Of the Islamic Republic, exactly.
Was
That's
not a big
why
deal.
they were not doing it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big deal?
It was not a big deal.
I mean, you're showing that off as a demonstration against your regime in front of 1 billion people.
No, it's too late and too little when people are getting killed. Right now, Iranian people are actually leading one of the historical revolution, led by women, supported by men. And this is the time that many well-known athletes, they're quitting their job. Many well-known actresses, they're quitting their job. So this is the moment that we want to see that football players using global platform, like bravely saying that, holding the pictures of Mahsa, holding the pictures of children getting killed, and going to different media talking about.
And that they did not certainly do.
Didn't.
They did not do.
And don't forget that. Yeah. Before coming to the World Cup, as I told you, they shared the story of the Ayatollah, supreme leader of Iran. They shook the hand of Ibrahim Raisi. They actually showed their sympathy with Qasem Soleimani. These are something that you cannot forget that, you know? And that is why we call on international sport federations to take a strong action. You know, Putin's football team, they got expelled from World Cup. What is different between Putin and Khamenei? You tell me.
Well, I mean, one invaded a sovereign country.
By whose help? Khamenei sending drones to Putin.
True, that is true. But I'm simply saying that there is on the international stage, having invaded a neighboring country
Trust
does
me, my brother.
create an action.
Islamic Republic invaded Iran.